listening to the Deep Purple Podcast, a fan podcast devoted to one of the greatest bands in rock history, Deep Purple. Your hosts, Nate and John, cover their shared history with the band, discover new music together, and cover the farthest reaches of the Deep Purple family tree and beyond. Here's Nate and John now.
Welcome to the Deep Purple Podcast, a fan podcast devoted to one of the greatest bands in rock history, Deep Purple. Today's episode is episode number 335, Armageddon, and coming to you from the suburbs of Chicago, where I have lousy socks. I'm your host, Nathan Beaudry.
And coming to you from the suburbs of Providence, I'm your co-host, John Healthy Eaton Matola.
Ooh.
And coming to you from the nocturnal suburbs of Stockholm, we got Jonatan, international rock star Hedlin.
All right. International rock star. Welcome.
International rock star, baby.
So what's the what's that all about? How are you
I'm out playing this fall.
That's right.
Kind of internationally. It's a funny thing concerning the show is there's one North American date, and that's in Canada.
Oh.
And I think it's the home of Motis, perhaps. Montreal.
You're going to be in Montreal?
You did mention that, yeah.
Yes. And that's one funny connection. The other funny connection is someone asked me, you got any US dates? No, but I have a Canadian girlfriend.
Yeah. You don't know her.
It almost feels like that, you know. It almost feels like that.
I'm going to send you any info that I have on Motis after the show.
Yeah, of
Be
course,
careful booking an Airbnb.
Hotel is taken care of and all that. It is a real tour, and actually it's not a real tour, but it's real gigs, like real paid gigs.
Yeah, it sounds like a real tour to me.
Yeah, no, everything is taken care of. I'm so not used to that, but it's very much a blessing. You know,
it's gonna be awesome. If we have any listeners in Montreal, go check them out.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool. And Motis, I'm not gonna be. The only way I will ever have any run-ins with him is if it's like a vengeance for John.
Yes,
like
vengeance
with him
for
or
me.
haunt him. Maybe some like Richie pranks on him. installing like speakers beneath his bed. Ghost sounds.
Or setting fire to his lab coat or whatever.
Setting fire to his house. That's a great prank.
Just like let me know where you're staying. I'll make sure that it's not a Motis owned property.
Not a Motis residence, yes.
Yeah.
Hence the international rock star.
We have some family in Montreal, so I'll tell them. Yeah. I'll talk up your show.
There we go. I mean, it's probably not touching. I mean, even for me, the band is not one of my bands. Even for me, it's quite far-fetched. So it's like, and also I don't need to promote it because every gig is pretty much sold out. The kids love that thing, I think.
That's awesome.
So yeah, it's really cool. I mean, I know the band since from before, but I had to, it was a process for me to even enjoy it myself.
So what's the name of the band for our listeners?
Life Lover. And it's maybe not so much about loving life. The band name is Life Lover. Pretty good activity if you look on Spotify, etc. But I'm sure you're not going to like it. And when I told Rye that, and he said, that's exactly what you should say to me for me to actually check it out.
Yes.
Actually, that's what I was saying. Is now I want to go listen and see what it's all about. Yeah,
well, it is odd music. I enjoyed playing it from the get-go, but now I kind of get it a little bit. I get what the kids and all those millions of streams are about. I mean, some of the songs have more streams than songs by Iron Maiden. It's insane. Wow. So I actually don't know how that stuff works, probably similar to you guys there. I played guitar music for more than half my life, 2/3 now, I think. And I still don't understand how the business works. I have no idea.
Anybody does.
So that's
great. So every year or two, I do something which I say I declare sock bankruptcy. I throw all my socks away and I buy new ones. And every time I buy them, they're crappier. These socks stink. They're like the
what kind of sock? What model is that?
Hanes? Do they have Hanes in Sweden?
The ketchup.
Oh, that's Heinz.
Not Heinz. Hanes. Hanes.
But is it like tube socks or whatever?
They're just like ankle socks. They're no big deal, but
okay.
They look pretty shabby.
The quality of them just keeps getting worse and worse to the point where. So we have two main, probably the biggest brands here are probably Hanes and Fruit of the Loom.
Fruit of the Loom's big one, yeah.
Yeah,
that's a standard one.
I don't know what to do because these are horrible. Like, they're brand new. They're like just terrible quality, uncomfortable. It feels like just wrapping a piece of loose fabric around your foot all day. So I'm gonna have to go to like a designer store or break out my made in Japan socks. Maybe I'll just order like 25 more pairs of these.
Yeah, I bought Van Gogh socks last and Jimi Hendrix Purple Haze socks. But actually, they were also bad quality. And the thing is, I'm going to turn 39 pretty soon. So we're in dangerous territory here because I'm about to bring up, is everything turning to shit?
Yes.
It's middle-aged men are like, what's happening with quality? Because they don't stand up anymore.
It's old man behavior, but it's true. Like, I mean, I can stack these against the ones that are in my drawer right now from a few years ago that I was like, these are getting a little ratty, and they're better than these, the socks I've been wearing for 3 years. Absolute garbage. Wow. Very disappointed. But, socks like this, like novelty socks, you expect them to be bad quality because you're just mostly buying them because they say something funny on them. True. And these are my non-funny socks. I want them to actually feel good.
Well, maybe I'll send you a link to the last socks I got because they're phenomenal.
Oh, please. I'm switching brands. Hanes, you're dead to me. Whatever John sends me, I'm buying.
Oh, Saucony.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, little ankle socks. They have like the little. Do you have the ones that have the? It's like right around like the. What do you call it? The. What's that part of your foot? The
heel.
No, not the heel. The middle.
The ball.
No, in between.
The arch.
The arch. Thank you. Yes, they have that. They have that kind of like arch support where it's got like kind of like a little band in the middle and then like one right around the ankle, and so they're very tight because they're like athletic socks. Because I'm on my feet all the time, and they hold up pretty well. So
also they're like the size of boats. Like they're like. They say on them size 6 to 12, which for our international listeners is like what the size that a young child wears or the size that a major league basketball player wears, and supposed to just accommodate all those sizes. Like, get out of here with that.
I'm 10 or 11 or something, because there's one difference between UK and US as well.
Oh, that's right. Here. There's like the UK and then there's European. So yeah, I'm like I forgot what I am in the European sizes, like a 43 or something, but I'm like a 10, a solid 10 in the US, and it's just, I don't know. I'm ready to not talk about socks anymore. John, you're healthy eating now.
Healthy eating.
Yep, that's me. About? Yeah. Well, people, they go on their whatever you call it. I'm trying to find by the way, the link to send this to Nate now because this story has made me very sad.
I'm actually going to return. I'm going to return these socks. That's what I'm going to do. It's a bold move. I'm going to say these socks are garbage. I've washed them all. I've worn 2 pairs. I'm done.
All right.
Give me my money back.
The Utility Clothes podcast.
All right. I just texted you the link to my socks.
Saucony.
Yeah. So, a lot of people, they do that new year, new me. I'm just like, summer's over, new me, because it's September, like a lot of new me. Well, yeah, because a lot of people they just like, oh yeah, in the winter you gain weight and you what is it, you hibernate and you put on like you get all introverted and stuff. I'm like the opposite. I don't want to go to shit. So it's just like I like summer is my time where you like birthday parties, cookouts, general
that's
debauchery. True. So I gained like 5 to 10 pounds. And
summer was humidity and existential dread.
Yes, that too.
A lot of that
because
too.
That hit me pretty hard. Yeah, because I loved it so much as a kid, and I don't really love summers anymore. I'm looking so forward to winter. Everything gets clean, clean. Especially
you're not all sticky from just being outside for an afternoon.
Yeah, it was a pretty hot summer. Yeah.
Well, yeah, right, that's it's good.
Well,
yes.
If you, for some reason, like what you're hearing, I can't imagine that we've won over any new listeners. Just remember that our podcast is 100% listener supported. And we were just talking before the show, we might need to switch podcast providers because our provider has been doing some sketchy stuff with some of our friends and kicking their podcasts off. And we don't want to go through that. So we might have to change to some sort of paid service. But our show is 100% listener supported and ad free. We don't send you ads for shave clubs or ball cream or any of that nonsense. We just thank our patrons. And you can become a patron for as little as $1 a month on Patreon or on PayPal. You can also donate with Cash App, Ko-fi, and Super Thanks available on YouTube. When you become a patron, you get access to our patrons-only Discord channel. You get access to our rating spreadsheet, our live stream episodes, which we have one coming up in our next episode, link for submissions to all of our album rankings episode, and access to our Too Hot for YouTube band episodes via Patreon. So please check that out. And
no one wanted them to be forbidden episodes, Nate. I just got to say, because band episodes does sound like band episodes.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
Forbidden, like Black Sabbath album,
Verboten.
Yes, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
That is a good idea. Band episodes wouldn't. That doesn't translate very well.
Band. Yeah,
they're mostly all band episodes. Yes, forbidden verboten episodes.
Verboten, I like it. Yeah,
we've been calling them Too Hot for YouTube to hopefully people think too. John takes his top off. But
is that the swimmer body.
Yeah,
Chris L.
Yes, Chris L.
He's really good at hyping John. I like it. He's the only one.
I wish I had a cheerleader the way John has Chris L.
Yeah, and Chris L. No one else has Chris L. in that particular way. It's only John.
Well, I think John and Pitbull maybe are two people that Chris L. hypes up the most.
True.
I'm not gonna complain.
No, why would you? So, speaking of patrons at our executive level at the in memoriam tier, the wonderful late Gerald, Jerry, Kelly, and family. At the $25 uncommon man tier, we have Ovis Nakvi and Purple Maniac. At the 20 is plenty tier, we have Alan. At the 10-pound good doctor tier, we have Dr. Mike Catan. At the turn it up to $11 tier, Clay Wambacher, who I had dinner with 2 days ago. Frank Thielgard Mortensen, Mickelstein, Will Porter, PhD, PP, and Michael Don't Call Her Bradford Bagford. At the $10 someone came tier, Ryan M., Jeff Bryce, Victor Campos, Better Call Saul Evans, and Peter from Illinois. Sorry, my dog's losing.
Your dog is shouting out his
cue the sound effects, Nate.
Of Hell, Tuesday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain, right after the paper chase.
Somebody must have come over or something. She's usually just lies on the floor here. At the $10 someone came tier, Ryan M., Jeff Bryce, Victor Campos, Better Call Saul Evans, who I... Not distracted to play that. And Peter from Illinois. And at the Deep Thoughts by John Matola tier, we have Mr. Fielding Fowler.
And now, Deep Thoughts by John Matola.
I don't know, maybe I do. Maybe you're singing it bad.
Thank you so much.
Finally, a new one, yes.
For your generous support of the Deep Purple podcast. And then the Deep Purple Podcast Hall of Fame, starting off with our inaugural member,
Rich Yangui, Shaylo.
And then Mr. Jorg Plener and Norman Weichelbaum. Thank you to all of you for your generous support. Deep Purple Burn, December 1st. Get us your rankings by then if you want to rank the episode and be on the live stream. You get to submit your rankings for the album, for the songs. Should be a lot of fun. And then before we continue on, we have just one more thing, and that is... Postcards from the Edge of Connecticut. This one is bigger than a postcard, and it's a parcel, and it says "careful opening." Although it doesn't feel like something that would break very easily. So let's dig into it. Get my scissors out. Okay. It is. Okay, so
All right.
Speaking of Hanes, it's a Hanes t-shirt that says
Woonsocket,
Rhode Island in Dymo label.
Wow.
One is green, and then this one is this is nice. This is like a jersey. Oh.
Well, it's the size of one.
This one's upside down. It's a
Look
jersey,
at that.
but one socket is upside down.
I don't know. I like
That's
that design
awesome.
better. The one striking red and upside down. That one
It's
is cool.
nice. It's got like that wicking material to it,
So you can jog in it.
and then it has 2 extra little Rhode Island patches I can iron on to my.
Wow.
This is nice. Thank you, the Gardeau. I like that. I think you could sell these.
Yeah. Leave it to the Gardeau.
Is there any note in here? Oh, there is a note. I'm sorry.
Of course.
Nate, Uncle John could
Yes?
not be the only host of the Deep Purple podcast with a hometown t-shirt. I made a big mistake, so you got 2. As with John's printer, number 1 ran out of ink, so the Rhode Island is a different shade of green. But the font is unbelievable. Pete, P.S. 2 extra Rhode Islands for you. Well, thanks, Pete. This came to us from
What do you call that font or that technique?
that is a Dymo label.
Dymo label. That's a great word for it.
Yep. So it's like a piece of plastic, and you depress you punch it with a piece of metal shaped like a letter, and it punches it out and gives it that cool beveled look.
No,
Yeah.
that's the kind of weird
Very
stuff
nice.
I would love to play with as a kid.
Oh
Things
yes,
like that.
my dad had a bunch of them, and I would just make labels for everything around my room. My stapler would just say stapler on it, like completely useless labels. It was just too much
I'd
fun.
probably go all artistic with it, or
Yes.
whatever you would call it, and code words or something, or maps. I don't know,
Oh yeah, each one could lead you to a new clue.
something like that. Yeah, I love that stuff. And choose your own adventure, which is more like your generation type stuff. Those
Yes.
books. But again, my sister is about your age exactly. So
It's got a nice retro feel to it, so it's pretty good. So thank
Yeah,
you, Pete.
cool.
We appreciate the mail, the parcel, and so today, guys, we're here to get into Armageddon. Do you guys know anything about this album?
So we're going to listen to, of course, Steven Tyler, right? Not going to miss a
No.
thing.
Yes.
No.
From the
That-
movie Armageddon.
The other
That is, of
Armageddon.
course, yeah. If you
Serenading Ben Affleck.
if you Google Armageddon and music, that's what you're going to come up with. You'll eventually get to this stuff, but yeah, it's mostly. And I don't want to miss a thing. That's that song, right?
I did ask you, and then I remember when I checked out the album, I had a breeze through it, a light and breezy listen, and I noticed that in those good old days of the internet, you remember Olle, right? My co-host on Games for Riffs.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He had a website. I had a website too, Joni's homepage.
Oh,
He had
yes.
a website called Dark Olle, which is a funny word combination. And I'm now remembering he did Hype Armageddon on there. So that's 20 plus years ago.
Oh, really? Well, yeah.
Yeah.
He was a fan of Captain Beyond. So that
Yeah,
makes
he
sense.
introduced me to Captain Beyond and countless other cool stuff. So it makes sense, really, right? But I hadn't really listened until now, or maybe until now in a while. So I can't say I'm familiar. It's the drummer from Captain Beyond, right? And principal songwriter, I think, from Captain
Yes.
Beyond as well.
Yes, and just looking at I guess we'll get into that in a second, but just looking at the track listing, you can't help but think, yeah, this is a very Captain Beyond style recording with just the names of the songs and the way that there's 15 parts to each song and all that.
I didn't see that. I only
Yeah.
saw the 5 titles.
Yeah, well, the 5th title has 5 titles in it, I think. So,
But it's a
I
neat
think
length.
if you look at it on streaming, yeah, it's just one long song for the end. But if you look on the actual album, it has many different parts. So, not too much to really cover for the lead up. So we've got in the band on bass guitar, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but Louis Chinamo, either Sinamo or Chinamo. He was in The Herd with Peter Frampton. And he was also in the band Renaissance with Keith Relf. So he and Martin Pugh, who is the electric guitarist, he played with Rod Stewart and also with Chinamo in a band called Steamhammer. They're looking for a drummer, and none other than Ainsley Dunbar recommends Bobby Caldwell, who had just kind of separated with Captain Beyond. So they got together and started rehearsing in late 1974. Chinaro had been a long-time friend of Peter Frampton's, and Frampton was able to put them in touch with a record label. They were initially managed by Frampton's manager, D. Anthony, and then later Jerry Weintraub, who was the same manager that managed Frank Sinatra and Bob Dylan. So quite a catalog. Sinatra, Dylan, and Armageddon.
It's like A-list stuff, yeah.
It would have been great. Sometimes the label mates will have people feature on songs. It would be great if Sinatra just featured on this song featuring Frank Sinatra.
Hey. That'd be wild.
But I realized that when I worked in a jazz blues bar doing sound, as I did before, that those legends in that particular field, well, this is called like Brit blues and prog rock, at least by Spotify. And in that field, you kind of, the legends kind of walk among men, and they just enter the stage and they play a bit of harmonica and sing a bit. And it's the guy that was offered the job in The Who as a singer. He's right there.
Yep.
So it's a bit different. It's not like the 80s heavy metal mystique or 70s hard rock mystique. In that sense, they are kind of, they're players. That's what I figured anyway. So it does make sense. But of course, Frank Sinatra, that's a different breed, I think. That's a...
They'd be like, hey, I'm going to play some tunes with you Armageddon kids.
Armageddon kids. Yeah.
What are the kids listening to these days? That kooky Armageddon?
But it is cool anyway when it mixes like that. And I think quite often on this show I hear like, and then he did this with this super celebrity and this with this super celebrity. And then he was in this weird prog band,
Yes.
Kind of like that. It's kind of cool, I think.
So Keith Relf had been in the Yardbirds, so playing with, I can't remember if he played with, I think he was in the Yardbirds with Clapton and...
He was, yeah.
Page, but not Jeff Beck, something like that.
He was definitely with Clapton.
Or Clapton and Page. Okay, I can't remember the progression. Was Jeff Beck in there first? Who knows? I'm going to mess it up.
I think it was Clapton first, and then I think the other. I'm not sure of the other two, but
yeah. So he's got some classic lineage there. On a technical level, we've got Doug Bennett, the engineer. He worked with the Stranglers, Rolling Stones, a band called Stiff Little Fingers, the Buzzcocks, and then the producer was labeled as Armageddon. That means that Doug Bennett was actually the producer. And then tape operator was Nigel Brookhart, who worked with a band called Alcatraz, but not the Alcatraz that features...
Youngwee and Vai.
Yes, a different Alcatraz. I don't know if that's why Alcatraz spelled their name the way they spelled it, but...
With a Z.
He also worked with Motorhead and Barbra Streisand. A good 1-2
good mix.
Two bands I never would. Well, not band. Yeah, but the Barbra Streisand is a band.
Let's call her a band.
Yeah, two bands I never thought I'd hear in the same breath: Barbra Streisand and Motorhead.
There'll be another good duo. Motorhead featuring Barbra Streisand.
Yeah,
that was their band episode.
Sing Orgasmatron.
Orgasmatron is a cool song, man. Very cool.
Yeah, but imagine Streisand singing it.
No, for my money, nobody sings that song like Babs.
Babs. We have little Babs here in Sweden, Lil Babs, and she was so famous in the early '60s, so that the Beatles got her autograph and not the other way around.
Really,
Lil Babs, Little Babs,
Little Babs,
yeah,
but not named as such because of Barbra Streisand. Just a different.
I think she was in ahead actually, in before, but I don't know. It's like I have very little knowledge about music before the Beatles were big. It kind of starts there for me.
Little Babs. I like
Lil Babs, yeah. Really, they got her autograph. They were starstruck. I don't know when this was, but I assume very early on.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
That's like when Roger Glover took our picture.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm more proud of that than the picture I have with him, because I'm like, somewhere on Roger Glover's phone is a picture of me. Why? I don't know.
Yeah, you know, we had that legendary death metal drummer on Made Need to See, and actually on So Far So Pod we did like a crossover episode, and he also had a great story with Glover, because he's always shy to talk to others. He's a sound man and a drummer, so he runs into people. But Glover strikes up a conversation with him. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm just a sound guy. It's like, okay, but for which band? For which band? It's like, yeah, it's a Millencolin. Oh, my kids love that band. Blah 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 blah.
Oh wow!
So apparently, Roger Glover is just a legendarily nice guy. It seems.
Oh yeah, you don't
Everyone
hear many
says so,
bad words said about the man.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is. Yeah.
And I gotta get caught up on So Far So Pod, because I think because of the whole thing getting kicked off of whatever, the feed didn't reload, and all my podcasts are messed up now because that happened to a lot of people.
It's randomized now. I put a AI generated Freddie Mercury cursing them, calling them New World Order jackboot fucks, which they are. You know?
Yeah, it's starting to look that way. All right, so here is the artwork for the Armageddon album cover, guys. What do you think? What do you think of this?
Wow.
Kind of striking.
Yeah, pretty bleak.
Yes. Well, it is Armageddon.
Yeah. Actually, it's cool. It definitely. I mean, except for the guy. Well, the guys in the front, it looks like a definite cut and paste.
Yes.
I mean, back then they probably just what do you call it, X-Acto knifed a picture of them and put it on a smoking heap of rubble. Type thing. But if it wasn't for that, like if you had a band like maybe 10 years later, that could have been like a early death metal album cover or something. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. The logo is cool too, and you know
Great
me,
logo.
I love the warm colors. I love red, orange.
Colors. Yeah. Actually, I was at the Countryside when I listened to Assault Attack, which was a cool episode to hear, because that album was early for me, and I was like, okay, are they gonna like it? And then you immediately made clear you love that record.
Oh,
and I wanted to send you guys a picture with my Flying V trying to stand exactly like that. And also I also have the original vinyl, and there was something I wanted to look at on that you addressed. Maybe later I'll check it out. But it's a cool cover. This one is a bit more brown, right? It's a bit more after the fact, you know. So if Assault Attack is in fact, you know, the I don't know, breakout, or the bomb is
the bomb's dropping, or the
bomb's dropping. This is after like every bomb. Every bomb has dropped, but they are
apocalypse. Yeah.
Yep.
And they seem very content about it. They're just kind of chilling, having a cigarette.
They are the ones
at that point.
They make it not death metal, because death metal guys are usually quite ugly and they don't want to be on the sleeve. Well, these guys look pretty cool. But other than that, you know, I agree, John. It could be like an old Dismember record or something if you only had that background there and all the scraps in front of it. You know, it could be an 80s action movie, I guess, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they kind of sometimes touch base with each other. That sort of a thing like Cyborg. You remember that movie, Cyborg? Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah, he's like, I think he's Gibson and the villain is Fender in that one. It's a very interesting intro. A very interesting intro.
It's got like it gives off, well, I guess more so the other way around, but that scene in the Matrix when Morpheus shows Neo where they actually are and what the world actually looks like. They're kind of also crouched. They're sitting in chairs like on a scene like this with everything blown up behind them.
Even the rave, you know, the Zion rave, in whichever part of Matrix that was, you know.
In the second one, yeah.
Somewhat like, that's one of the not so great ones, which would be everyone but the first.
Yes. But yeah, these guys just kind of chilling, very on the nose with the Armageddon thing. Love the Armageddon logo.
Yeah,
it's got the
cool.
kind of sunrise, or not even sunrise, more like the sun coming through the
nuclear blast
and smoke of the
I would say it's beyond warm. It's hot. You know, it's scorching color choices. Yeah, it's good.
And I don't know if that's an actual photo of, it looks like it could be a photo of a World War I battlefield or something that they repurposed or something like that. But it looks like it should be a painting, but more often than not in this time frame, if it looks like this, it's an actual photograph that's been, like John said, X-Acto knifed out. And,
like a collage. Is that a word? I mean, it's an English word, but we use it for, the Terry Gilliam, Monty Python type things.
Yes. Yep.
That's like a collage, or klippa klistra we call it, which is cut and paste in Swedish. Dynamo labels, they kind of go in there, somewhat in there. Physical, sort of physical design. Physical design is pretty cool. I like that. Have you seen that sketch, Nate? Because you have and here they are in the beginning now with the lady that presents the show, Deep Purple Podcast. Yeah. And here's John and Nate now, because there's a sketch I always think about when there's an island with only journalists on in Python. And here they are.
I don't know why they do about that, but that's just a happy coincidence.
And also English.
And also very English, just like some of this band. This art direction was by Roland Young, who did like a ton. He was one of these guys that did like every album cover ever. He did like Sonny and Cher, Cheech and Chong, Billy Preston, Herb Alpert, Carole King, all these different album covers. And then Joe Garnett was the illustrator. And he was like heavily involved in the music scene through the 70s and the 90s. Did Grand Funk, Doors. He worked on the first the first Captain Beyond album. Did a Randy California album, Free, It's a Beautiful Day. So all of these different connections there. Just kind of a cool album cover. The inside sleeve is just a black and white photo of the logo, which again looks pretty cool. On the other side is all of the lyrics and credits. And then there's the label itself. You've got the first 3 tracks on one side, and then the last 2 tracks on the other side. But as you can see, that last track is broken up into a lot of different parts in a standard Bobby Caldwell way. And then the back cover is a similar picture to the front, but with a big almost supernova.
That's like another 100 years later or something,
Yeah,
almost like it looks like to begin again.
And all the guys from the band are looks like they're made out of rocks, like the Thing in the Fantastic Four.
Yeah. It looks very cartoonish.
Yes.
Yeah. Next step is like a sprout coming up, the beginning of a new civilization, which is actually quite cool. It's actually quite a cool thing. I still like that, with sort of after the apocalypse, the first hope, a new hope. It's pretty epic, actually. I can't deny that.
No, it's pretty great.
They did it in South Park too, which was great because it all ended in nothing mattered. It was just Towley's weed theories. They made no sense, but they had that epic scene, with the God voice and the first little sprout. Only it meant nothing. Very good, very good. Integrity Farms and all that. I don't know if you still watch South Park, but
it's one of those things I catch like an episode here and there, but I don't like regularly watch it. Probably should.
Oh yeah, no, I just catch up because there's not that much coming out, and sometimes I wait years. But when I catch up, it's like they still got it,
I remember when it first came out, John and I saw it. We were in our friend Derek's basement, and like the first episode had come out, and it was like a really,
one was
big
bad.
deal.
Not a good episode, I don't think, for me anyway. Like I was quite young, but I watched it.
I forget this.
Yeah, me and my dad had been watching, Monty Python, as I mentioned, Simpsons, learning English with Simpsons, and my dad and my sister, and then here's this new cartoon. It's like Cartman gets an anal probe. What is this shit? I think it took me about 11 seasons before I liked it, and if I look back at those early seasons, I don't like them that much,
Yeah, it was.
But it's like the punk era, I guess,
Yeah, it was definitely something a little different for the time, and to think, still going this far because it was like 1997.
But now it's always really cool, really good. I think anyway, it fits for me anyway.
My kids are really getting into it, and I'm not sure they should be watching it, but I don't have any energy left to fight them about it.
Yeah, no, you have to let them. You have to let them live.
Yes. Oh boy.
Loud swim meat.
So before we move on to the actual music, we'll thank our next level of patrons, and then we'll get right to it. That is, of course, our core level patrons coming to us at the $6.99, the new nice price tier, Spike the Rock Cat's Ghost and Sugar Tea. At the episode $6.66 tier, we have Steve Coldwell, Arthur Smith,
getting support from the patron Arthur Smith,
Anton Glaving,
pain in the glaving,
and Charles Meadows. At the $6.65 almost evil tier, Kenny Wymore and Richie Sucksmith. At the 70 Norwegian kroner tier, we have Kai Runa, yes, I'm Norwegian Olsen. At the $5.99 the nice price tier, Robert Smith and Adrian Hernandez. At the 60 kroner Scandinavian Nights tier, we have DJ Newt Morton Johansson. At the €5.50 tier, Merline Rota. At the £4 tier, we have Mr. Duncan Leask.
Hungry horse. Hungry horse.
At the $5 moneylender tier, John Convery, German Heindel, Adrian Hernandez, Jesper Alman, Alexei the Perfect Stranger Slepikoff, Kev Roberts, Scott Zerns, Cynthia Doobie, Raf Calf.
You guys ever have sex?
Coyote Bongwater. John Maselli.
That is the most Tony Maselli that he's ever been.
That show in my world, only exists via Really You, John. This is that's what the show is. It's a part of your imagination for me.
Yeah, I don't know if that's better or worse. If it was,
yeah.
I don't know how it would hold up in a first viewing these days.
Some of that stuff is quite funny, though.
it's
I have to say.
I find that out of context, it's even funnier than in the episode.
Might be.
But we also have Sarah Sanders.
No, Kelly Clarkson.
Jelly Bean, Evan Robeson, Purple Swede.
Hookah, shaka, hookah, hookah.
Swede?
Sweet, 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 sweet.
And Ralphie Lee. Thank you so much to all of you for your support of the Deep Purple podcast. All right. So here we are. Are you guys ready to dig in to Armageddon's lone album release?
Lone album, eh?
Yep, the only album they ever released.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. This album begins on the first side with the track called Buzzard.
Such a spy riff.
That is a cool riff.
Yeah.
Very simple, but very cool.
You know that when I'm on it, I'm going to have names for all the riffs, right? That's what I normally do, especially around here. So this is a spy riff.
A spy riff. Oh, I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like a spy, a sharp one.
I wonder if there's any dinosaur riffs on this.
Could be. A spy on espresso.
A spy on espresso.
Yeah.
Very
This
dry.
has got a great groove. Listen to that bass.
Sounds great.
Yep. It's cool to try and find the links to Captain Beyond Sound, since Bobby wrote most of that stuff, I think.
I mean, it seems like this is kind of where they're going. This was written by Caldwell Pugh and Ralph.
Mm-hmm.
Pew, pew.
Pew, pew.
I'd love to play this bit live, not necessarily the whole song, but this would be a great interlude in any show, basically with any band I've ever been in. Maybe step on that wall a little bit.
I can picture sneaking into somebody's house while this is playing.
Yep.
Stealing valuables.
4 espresso shots deep. Sounds like it. Also, they take their time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not
Very long intro.
I wish some music would do that today, Just one artist.
And I find that with movies too.
They're longer now, but yes, I still agree.
But it's like there's no boring parts. It's all action.
Yes, that whole second screen bullshit. If you've heard about that, if you haven't, I'm gonna let you be. I'm not gonna tell you because it's a sad thing.
Oh.
And here it comes in, right? This is not, of course, not our man, but it's still good. I was curious to hear the singing, not being Rob.
Yeah, and I'm not super familiar with the Yardbirds.
Me neither.
I am a little bit. Yeah, this is weird, considering that.
But you can hear the Brit blues. Sort of psychedelic blues, but it still has the progression.
Yep.
You were about to say something, John.
Were you going to say something, John?
Well, I was really into Eric Clapton when I was younger, and I talked about having that box set. Like the Clapton box set, and they had all the early Yardbird stuff on it. And it was that very 60s, like mid to late 60s, kind of like pre-Beatles type of music.
Yep.
So they were very like, all dressed up in the suits, like this type of music. And that's how, like, he's got that kind of voice, but in this, it sounds very like, I've never heard him do anything else, and to think that he would do something that, like, this kind of dark is, like, kind of weird.
Kind of hard rock singing almost,
But I don't feel like he's a really strong singer on this. Like, it was like a good pop singer, but it's like, I don't know if it translates here.
He's not singing much. It's about as much as like a song like Wake Up Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I can like too, you don't have to sing all the time.
I mean, I think the music is, like, awesome.
It's pretty dopey. It's interesting, this Brit blues thing, the psychedelic feeling, the psychedelic vibes, and then blues progressions, and then like a hard rocking drive tempo to the song. It's a pretty cool combination, I think.
Yeah, because you don't really associate the blues and psychedelia, really.
But this is a nice line.
Yep.
Frank Zappa Light or something.
Yeah, sounds like it.
Which is actually the kind of Zappa I prefer. I'm not so into jazz from hell. Give me Overnight Sensation, Apostrophe or something better.
Nah, I love that one.
Rats.
This
Hot
is
Rats, cool.
Yeah, Prague from Hell.
There's a great breakdown here.
It's still in this kind of major Mixolydian vibe, which makes a fun juxtaposition, I think. This is lightweight notes, but it's out there. Riff.
Great sound on that bass.
Kind of a thug riff, I realize now. Like Pete Gunn theme on steroids.
Yeah.
And then you're reminded, they have a singer.
Yes. Almost forgot.
Yeah. Forget that sometimes with Stargazer. Oh yeah, the U is in the band. That was an infamous 4.5, Nate. What were you thinking? 4.5?
I know.
Ooh.
So much grief over the years.
So you don't like the singing, John?
I don't think, like, I don't hate it, but it's like, I don't know, I guess it's like, it would be the one thing that I'd change in this song.
Now he's kind of in this John Anderson. Mountains come up and they stand there.
Yeah.
Shout out to your friend.
It just feels like it's a little weak for the for the music,
cool.
you know?
Is that a harmonica?
Harmonica,
Yep.
yeah. And really cool side stick stuff here. I'm not sure side stick stuff is the theoretical term, but
it's
If anybody knows.
Yeah.
It's very, like, you wouldn't expect Rod's voice to work with Captain Beyond, but somehow it does.
Yep.
And it's kind of the same thing here, but I'm not sure if it works as well.
Isn't it the best Evans ever would be Captain Beyond, right? I think.
I would say for heavy Evans, yeah.
This is actually really cool, well performed though, this part, I think. It's not easy to make it sound like this, you know. It's like precise, but loose and light, you know.
Yeah, it's kind of a unusual ending.
A train robbery in space.
That is a good call.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone is better than at putting a label on something than you. That just totally makes sense.
I appreciate that, but I will say, like I said last time, I have had a lot of inspirators along the way. Just weirdos, you know. And that was also, speaking of this, that was a Death Rattle riff feature. A classic.
Ooh.
Nice.
Odd song, man.
Cool ending. Yeah, so... Yeah, there's only 5 tracks on this album, so they're all but one of them are quite long. And who wants to kick it off with the rating?
Let's have John go first.
Oh, okay, me. All right.
Yeah.
Since we discovered this band, which I believe was through the podcast, we were talking about other things that Bobby Caldwell did after Captain Beyond. I did go to seek out this album, so I'm most familiar with this song because I think it's the only one that I've ever listened to in like the past year or a couple of years, however long I've known about this album. And I think it's a barn burner, so I'm going to give 4.5.
Oh wow. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, I think that it's the production seems like a little I guess it's like a little thin or a little weaker, especially the guitar, but it's like it never really bothered me as much.
We talked about, was it Hotter Than Hell we talked about when you were on see ages ago, or the first Maiden record is another one, or even actually In Rock is another one of these unproduced records. In Rock sounds pretty fucking cool though, but nevertheless, I can dig an anti-production, I can like it, And as a second Kiss connection, John, hold your thought. A second Kiss connection, I kind of agree with Simmons. The demo is usually good enough for me. I don't really need production so much anymore. It's weird. The more I got into doing it, the less I need it. Anyway, we're onto something there.
Okay.
Yeah, somehow, But you were about to say something. I interjected with the Gene Simmons thing.
Well, we can never
about production and punky sounds and thin sounds, fat sounds, something like that.
I think maybe it was mostly the guitar and the vocals, which I think the guitar did achieve a heaviness through the use of the wah pedal. I mean, I think he really was effective. The guitar player was effective at using that to create a heaviness. So even if it's not like a really crunchy distortion or a fat sound, it really cut in there at the moments, which made it really heavy, where you just kind of like, yeah, baby. And
a slow sweep, right? Yeah. That's key, I think, for wah. If I'm like too hyped or too nervous, I shouldn't have a wah on stage because my sweeps are going to be too quick. It's not that interesting. If you do the slow sweep, it can be pretty cool, and I agree. It can add heaviness,
Yeah, well, he was doing some cool stuff with it, getting some cool dynamics with it, the bass line was really groovy. I think the rhythm section was really good too, because you could tell that this was a even though it was a one-off band, and the average rock fan would probably not know who many of these people are. As you could tell, Bobby Caldwell's like a step above drummer just by listening to the stuff that he's doing. The only thing that I don't really love is the vocals, which I can kind of forgive it because it kind of works in the context of it. But I always thought, like, if they had a more powerful singer, like even somebody like Rod, if he and Bobby Caldwell splintered off and made their own band, and they did kind of different music like this, and they had couple of different musicians, what would it have sounded like. But I also have that bias by knowing a little bit about the early Yardbirds, and it just being like, if I don't know, if someone like Ricky Nelson was the lead singer or something like that, it would be like, what is this? Frank Sinatra? You'd be like, what is this?
Yeah, but I mean, one of the key components to Captain Beyond self-titled, I think now, I kind of realize it now actually, is that there's such a width of Rod Evans on that one, because I wouldn't say he's a wide range singer, but on that album they somehow made him a wide range singer, from everything from only gray, that bit, and of course, ooh, here it comes. I had to do it. But it's quite a width, it's quite a width, and I think is Bobby involved in this? Is he like a mastermind that comes and talks to everybody? Perhaps no one knows, but I would like to know.
I mean, from what I can tell, given that he's credited with songwriting on all of the songs, but so are Ralph and Pew. Pew pew. But Ralph obviously is getting credit for lyrics. So I don't know about. So it might be just mostly Caldwell and Pew, but yeah, whatever it is, they're working together really well, and it definitely has his. You can see the similarity between this and Captain Beyond.
Sure. And this song could have been on there. Yeah, I think I was a little bit too kind last time, and I thought maybe I'm going to be a bit more hard this time. But now you come in with a 4.5. I can't give this a 3.5. I'm going to have to raise it to a 4 because actually I like everything about this song, And speaking of like a vocalist that is not strong but is not very featured, I sneak into my own house. It's 4 a.m. I love Wake Up. I love Wake Up. It's a great song. I wouldn't want to have a great singer on there because he doesn't always say he's welcome. And I would say the same for this guy, but I do prefer maybe Mustaine. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good point. If he was just yammering on through the whole song, it might get old, but he's just kind of splashed in here and there.
Yeah, good point.
Certainly your friend there in the piano, Hughes, what was his first name?
Paul?
You're old, it's well, maybe not childhood friend, but a very old friend of yours that have been on the show for Jesus Christ Superstar episodes and stuff.
Yes, Paul.
Yeah, Paul. Oh, I thought you said who.
Sorry. Paul
Hughes. That's right, Paul Hughes, because he, mountains come up and they stand there. He could have been a bit like that, I do think that's a pretty cool line. I don't know why it's so ridiculous. It's kind of cool, but sometimes he gets on my nerves, Jon Anderson.
Yeah.
Because it's like a choir of mice when you listen to Yes sometimes. That could have happened if this guy had been, going on.
Yeah,
and on.
yeah. It could have been a little too much.
But I gotta give it a 4. I do agree it's a barn burner. I can't go 3.5. I can't be hard cop. I'm gonna be nice, I guess, today again.
Interesting that you bring up Paul because he just came back for an episode. As of recording this, it will be last week's episode, but it hasn't aired yet. So
that's cool. Yeah, no, those the Jesus Christ Superstar ones quite led in there.
And it's his first non-Jesus Christ Superstar episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah, it should be fun. Well,
quite a character.
It was fun. I will give this one. Did I say already? I'm going to give it a 4 as well.
Okay.
I think John's use of the term barn burner is accurate. Come in really strong, make it a great opening statement. And that brings us to the next track, which is called Silver Tightrope.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds the production on this so far is very good.
I love this song.
It's nice.
Two guitars.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and an acoustic. It could be 3 even. Yeah.
Both.
But acoustic and electric for sure, yeah.
Yeah, at least hard pan to left and right.
Mm-hmm. I think it's 2. Also, this kind of wistful is major, but it's not jolly,
Right.
And here we go with some more, Jon Anderson. Not Ian, but Jon Anderson. It's a very British way to sing, or English, I should say. America is usually a bit more wide-legged. I like that too. Like Farner, Grand Funk Railroad. He's awesome. I think this could be a tough one to win John over.
Yeah, the vocals really aren't doing much for me.
Yeah, and this is there's a word I've been using ever since I started listening to your show all those years back, and it's meandering. Meandering. But I can dig a bit of it if it's done right.
Well, the guitar has also not done anything new yet.
No, it's a loop so far. But it does have parts.
It seems like the vocals are low in the mix.
Very. Maybe unnecessarily so. Good bass there.
It's good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, it sounds like they're building.
Yep.
It's a long build.
It is.
And I have the benefit of looking at the waveform, so I can see where it's going to kick in. We're about halfway there.
Well, like Johnny said before, there was patient.
Yes.
Patient. Right? You said that about the first song. It was the long intro. You said it was patient.
Taking its time, yeah.
Taking its time.
Patient would work. That would work.
The song is patient, but how patient is the listener?
That's the question,
But yeah, no, it's taking its time, which is, if it's a long song, then we'll see what the payoff is.
But I find, I recently watched Jaws over the summer for the 50th anniversary.
What a good song. Movie. What a good movie.
Yeah, a great movie, and it just filled me with so much nostalgia for that era where movies would just take their time and be slow, and now an action movie like that, the shark would be jumping out of the water and shooting electricity out of its eyes, and it's just nice to see something has slow downtime in it, and it's the same with music.
Yep, I would say this song also sprinkle in enough to, convince me that it's worked on. It's not just filler loop track.
Yeah, and it's kind of
that song you did a cool album maybe a year ago now, within the last year, that had this kind of African music flavor. Zebra was, I think.
Oh yeah.
And there was this song that John didn't like because it was just a loop, sort of in an African way. And I'm not sure I loved it. I think I liked it more, but I will say this is a different breed of. This is more song.
Yes.
Let's see if John agrees. Because things happen. They just happen in a very calm demeanor, I think.
Oh, some little bells there at the very end of this section.
Is it no, not a marimba.
I don't know if it's bells or xylophone or.
Could be xylophone. Great sound. Great fill. Like a ballad fill.
So you wait basically 4.5 minutes for the drums to come in.
Yep, and then you're back at this riff.
And you're right back here. Yeah, I was wondering if it was going to take it to a new direction.
But this is a nice riff, though. It's a nice. Maybe it's not a riff, but it's a nice. It is a vibe.
See, I'm a big fan of Pink Floyd, so I don't mind these long.
Yeah, I know.
Slow instrumental bits, but I know that not everyone is as much of a fan of that.
So, something interesting about this guy, which is interesting, they became a singer, because I was just reading, I wanted to quickly look him up here, and I didn't realize that it says he was a lifelong chronic asthmatic. And he had respiratory problems that led him to losing a lung.
Shit.
So
he had like to learn to breathe again.
Yeah, and one of his lungs was removed.
So and that would eventually, unfortunately, lead to his passing shortly after this album was made.
Really?
Yeah.
Indirectly.
Yeah, it was a contributing factor, but he died getting electrocuted by playing electric guitar.
Oh shit! Like that guitarist in Helicopters.
Oh.
I think it's just interesting, though, that despite that, he just went on to just continue to be a singer.
Well, Ian Pace is much the same way. He's got pretty bad asthma and breathing difficulties, and it's like to be doing something that physical.
Yeah,
that involves that much cardiovascular. For all we know, that could be the reason he's going strong still, is he's had to work himself up.
Yeah, maybe the technique has to be pitch perfect to not overuse any physical abilities, you know?
Yep.
Because I imagine drumming is a lot about that. It's one of the few instruments that I'm not even willing to try, even though I love drums. It's just I've heard myself drumming and I didn't like it.
No,
I love drums.
I love playing drums, but it's very hard to do it well.
So hard.
It's very easy to do it poorly.
Okay, it's a solo now. First solo, I think. Oh, there was something maybe the first song.
Waited till about the 7-minute and 15-second mark for the solo.
It's a nice solo.
Mm-hmm.
And the diggity. You know, mistreated.
Oh, yeah, right?
Not exactly, but it's a neat trick. I used it a lot before I knew it was a mistreated Richard trick.
A bend.
It's not that hard, you know. It's pretty easy to do. Yeah. If you're from metal, you know, it's gonna be easy. Nice solo. A bit more American in the solo, I think, with the open fields of the US of A. Kind of occurred, I think. Yeah.
Awesome.
So we're gonna have John first again, just because I'm so curious. Because this is certainly not a John song, but is it anyway? Sometimes you derive from your
past. He keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know.
Well, I'm walking the silver tightrope here. I got to give this one a 2.
Oof.
I don't like it. It
As
was meandering.
Meandering. I mean, it is, right? Even if you love the song, you got to admit it's meandering.
It was almost the opposite of meandering. It really just did that one thing. It didn't meander very much.
Well, within that thing, you can meander on a spot. I think.
I guess meandering would mean, right, that you're moving but not necessarily going anywhere.
Like,
is that the definition of meandering?
Hung over in your apartment or something. That's maybe meandering.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't find it very interesting. I mean, I like the opening guitar, and I like how it was. We thought it was 2-3 guitars, which made me think that the kind of thin kind of sound on the guitar on the first track was a choice, like you know what I mean, a conscious choice, because they obviously had like the production values to create something kind of big in stereo. So no problems with that. It's just I don't know. It wasn't really interesting. It's like I can't even remember what the song sounded like at this point, to be honest.
Dum 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 dum.
Yeah.
Dum dum dum.
Thank you. Yeah, but I don't know. It didn't really go anywhere. I didn't think it was that interesting, and the vocals were very like in the back. I think I don't know, maybe if you had like maybe a more passionate upfront delivery, or
maybe so. Or even like I was thinking about this. You know, I was having what was I having? I was having Thai food, and I was thinking about it, listening to these 2 songs, and thinking John's going to give it a 2. If nothing is rare here, because I know that you're not doing this like it's not by default. Because I think if it's interesting enough, example like Captain Beyond, again, those calm songs on that one, I think you like them because they are interesting. Something's happening. You even you even went so far as to accept the hippie lyrics, as the moon speaks to the waves of the sea and all that. An open ocean relic of times that used to be. And is this that? No, it's not really. But I gotta give it a 3, I gotta give it a 3 because it's nice, That's my reason to give it a bit above average. It's nice. I like how it sounds. I like how it feels listening to it. And if I do have the time, yeah, it works. So 3. That's gonna be a 3.
I was thinking the same. I'm also gonna give it a 3. For pretty much the same reason. It is a nice, pleasant sounding song, but it doesn't really go anywhere. And I don't know that chord progression is strong enough to warrant 8+ minutes of repetition. It doesn't really.
But I mean, even a strong chord progression, you would play that out. You would wear it out rather. It would be. It's really like what can you do in a loop for 8 minutes? I don't know.
It would have to be a very long, like 3-minute progression to be able to be looped for that long.
I mean, electronic music I like, but that's a whole different picture, or like the post-rock kind of stuff I liked a lot in high school. And that's I kind of compare that more to a nature wildlife experience. When there's a big panorama, not much happens. Maybe a bird flies by, it's there, and this flies is gone. And it didn't change anything. It was just passing by. It's that kind of music, It's pretty far cry from Detroit Rock City.
Yes.
I like both, but Detroit Rock City is a better song than Silver. What was it?
Silver Tightrope.
So you never talk lyrics here, and I'm not gonna revolutionize your show. But what is this about? Silver Tightrope.
No, it's a good point.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
I said I wasn't going to change the show, so we don't have to. But I'm a little bit curious by that title, I have to say. Well, actually, I can look it up, and you can continue hosting the show if you want.
Yeah, I'm reading through it. It doesn't seem.
Doesn't say much.
It doesn't seem groundbreaking enough to put me over a 3. It's one of those kind of songs. Is this really about anything?
All right. Gotcha.
It's one of those sounds. Reading through the lyrics, I close my eyes to worldly skies. I leave behind the day, and deep within me, I shall begin to chase my thoughts away. It's one of those things that kind of goes on like that, and it sounds poetic, but does it really mean anything? I don't know.
Right.
Is it just sounding poetic for poetry's sake?
Exactly. Even that moon speaks to the sea, I think is basically bullshit, probably. I like it.
Yeah, but I think you can be a bullshit set of lyrics, but still deliver them in a way. Like, I think a really great singer who maybe is an okay lyricist can deliver a line that invokes something in you that maybe attributes more meaning to the words than they should have. And you could say, wow, that's really profound. And then realize if anyone else sung it, it probably wouldn't mean anything at all.
Yeah, I mean, you do talk lyrics sometimes, like "I can dream in any language." Cool line. That one, got a little feature, so that does happen. The goofy lyrics are pretty cool in Deep Purple, I would say.
All right, so the next track up is called. This is to me the most interesting title. It's the shortest song. It's called Paths and Planes and Future Gains.
Psychedelic gym music.
Sounds like a psychedelic...
It's a hard-rocking shuffle.
It's a psychedelic businessman.
Gains. Cool that it's a shuffle. Or more like a triplet.
Yeah.
Like that tune on Assault Attack. Was it the first song even? Title track, maybe.
It's pretty good.
I like this song. Singing is
great bass line.
It sounds more like Gillan now somehow.
Is that like a backwards guitar in the right channel?
Yeah. Oh, nice bass line, yeah. Interesting with so much headroom in a mix like this. Kind of liberating. Wah bass?
Yeah, it might be.
It could be guitar, but it does sound like Lift Bird.
No, I think it is wah on the bass.
Maybe. Ooh.
Nice.
There's something about his vocals is really reminding me of another singer, and I can't think of who it is.
Just that the position in pitch in this song is way more Gillen-esque than the others. Not sounding like him, but
yeah,
it's more in his typical wheelhouse range-wise. Great drumming here.
It's funny that you have a song that's done more in 2 minutes than the last song did in a full 8.
Yeah, this song is pretty...
Yeah.
Almost action-packed.
Yeah. Almost wish they'd saved some of it for the previous song.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Cool, because it's a bit funky, but it's funky in that 70s hard rock way, so most funk music would be leaning back. This is kind of leaning forward.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's doing a very good... he's matching it very nicely with the drums. They're laying in on the hi-hat.
It's another set of lyrics that sounds more poetic than anything, but it seems to work a little bit better.
I like that chromatic breakdown.
Pretty
badass, I think. That's how we're gonna transition. Yeah, let's do it. I only think about, though, it's just John Anderson that I think about, in terms of...
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from with that.
Mountain? Standing?
Yeah, see another mountain standing on the mountain. A lot of references to mountains.
They come out of the sea and they stand there.
And they just stand there.
Save our city! It's like two of my favorite songs as well.
You just like songs that go into non sequiturs?
So, yeah. Cool one.
Kind of like swirling reverb at the end when they hit that last note.
I think I can get out of the gate first on this one, and
all right,
that's a solid 4 for me. It could even be higher, but again, I'm trying not to be. It's hard. Like I told you guys last time, the first time I gave grades or rates here on the show, that it's harder than one might think. So I'm trying to contain myself. So I'm not going to go 4.5. I'm not going to go crazy, but I'm going to say 4. I really like it. Another song that I think it would be killer live as well. Mm-hmm. Whereas the Silver Lining, it was not Silver Lining, the Silver Thin Rope. Silver
Thin Rope.
Yeah, they would be a very thin rope live. This would be a nice and sturdy rope, a bridge almost. So yeah, good one. 4.
All right, John?
I will give it a 3.5.
All right.
I thought it was pretty good. I think it had a lot of great riffs in it, and it was really interesting. I think somebody had said it's like did more in a couple of minutes than the last song did in the whole 8 or whatever it was. But it was definitely like a heavy kind of hard rocking song. The only thing that I just really didn't like about it was the vocals. I just
really didn't like, or kind of didn't like. I mean, compared to the first song, did you like it? Because I think the vocals were stronger in this one, I think, than the first, that is.
I think maybe like technically They were, but it's I guess maybe I could.
They don't do anything for you, basically. You don't feel.
Yeah, like I could. I don't want to say I could tolerate them, but I guess I'm used to them in the first song. They worked in the first song, but through the rest of the album, I just feel like he's. I get the feeling that it was like these guys formed a band. They're like, well, we kind of know this guy. Like, we got to make him this. Like, we already told him he was going to be the singer. So, like, what can we do? And so they just kind of.
It could be that. It could also be like, we got to have a singer. They had been jamming. They had been smoking and jamming, and it's like, we got some great, some great doobie jams here, but maybe someone should sing as well, like an afterthought almost.
Yeah,
it could be.
Yeah, I just don't think that he's the right singer for this. Like, again, I don't know all of the the Yardbird stuff is very like poppy 60s, so it's like I don't know how much. Huh?
Is it a lot of harmonies in that? In your
yeah, they do that kind of thing. So it's like I think it's just a different style of music, and maybe he's just out of his element doing this. I don't know. It doesn't seem to go with it as much. I don't like it as much. So I enjoyed like listening to the different instrumental parts and kind of the transitions between sections on the guitar, and to listen to the bass and everything, and just all the instrumentation more than I did the vocals.
Yeah. 3.5 still a good grade, and I think I understand quite well actually your experience here. Well explained, well laid out there. I can kind of get in your head, and I really get it. I can't defend these vocals as anything but really rather anonymous, perhaps. And if you like a statement, if you like a characteristic statement or something that pops out or brings you in, he's probably not your guy.
Right.
I am also going to give it a 3.5. What else can I say about it? The vocals seem a bit tacked on, a bit like, well, we have to have vocals, whereas it doesn't flow as organically as it could. It's just well, we have to patch on some vocals to these songs we wrote on, so we'll do that. And
I still think that was a good call. But maybe they could have expanded on said call a little bit, But I think it wouldn't have worked as an instrumental record.
No, yeah, there's not enough going on for it to have lasted during the verses and stuff without it. But I feel like a different vocalist. I'm sure he was great for the Yardbirds, but again, Rod Evans really shouldn't have worked in this style of music either, but he really did. On paper, it shouldn't have worked, but it seemed to.
I think
in this one, I don't think as much.
I think Evans would have been great on this record. Maybe even the same kind of, the same phrasings and everything, but he could make them count more so, I think.
Yeah, and I think in some cases this one is like bah, 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 bah. Like he's almost like trying to struggle to get there. Like maybe it needed a different vocalist with a different range that would have done something different melodically.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Actually,
but very different style, obviously from the Yardbirds.
It's funny that was your show that got me into like accepting Glenn Hughes, because you had seen that Jon Lord thing, and you had noticed Bruce Dickinson not reading the room. I had seen the same one. I looked at it because Bruce was there way before we met, and I saw Glenn Hughes. I was like, who's this fucking tool? I just instantly hated him. Now I love him, but it's because of you guys. You kind of. You shed light on his brilliance. But when I saw him there with that haircut and those sunglasses, and he's just over singing Burn, like, what was this fucking tool? It's clown.
This fucking tool.
Definitely read the room a little better.
I didn't even notice motherfuckers. I didn't think about it twice.
If you're
it's quite noticeable, I should say now.
If you're used to Bruce Dickinson and really following him, it just doesn't jump out at you as much how out of place it was during a memorial.
I think it's the same with Hughes. When I go back to that one, I don't think he's a clown anymore, because I know he's pretty awesome, He's both, kind of, because that Christmas thing, and how horny he is coming off like his drug phase, how horny he is on that Burning Japan Live. Awesome record, but he's so horny. Like, I remember noticing like every single banter, like, "Oh, you guys are sexy out there, sexy."
That's not the first word that comes to mind when I think of Hughes.
You guys ever have sex?
Horny.
Yeah, it's usually the first word that comes to mind when I think of Coverdale, but
yeah, reading Hughes's book though, it's like, yeah, he's pretty horny. There's a lot of detail in that book about that sort of thing. But anyway, we're gonna go to the second side of this album now with a track called "Last Stand Before,"
the penultimate track.
This is credited to all 4 members. Another long one, too.
Pretty dirty riff.
Again, another great groove.
Yep. It's a dirty riff. It's up to no good. Is this the Nate Funk?
I feel like his voice works well in this.
I was going to say
that it's in right now.
I was going to say, yeah, this.
Not what I was expecting this song to go from the opening, but it works well in this context.
Yep. It's funny we talked about horny Hughes before because it's a pretty dirty, horny riff somehow.
I like a horny riff.
Yeah, I can dig a horny riff. This must be the best working vocal so far, I think.
Yes.
Yep.
He's also doubled.
It's also very upfront, right?
Yeah, and he's doubled all the time. Constantly dubbed. Which is cool. It's like there's a unison dub all the time, and then when the harmony comes, it's I think a third, or could be even more.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm thinking about someone, Nate. Some other singer as well.
Yeah.
Who? Ooh. Rock and roll. I think it's the backing track that fits in better, because with this funky style you can be a little bit airy, a little bit breezy on top there. You don't have to be a powerhouse. Yep. Especially since he's doubled as well.
Really love the bass work on this.
Very tasteful
what
drum
I'm hearing is like Phil Collins.
Yeah, a little bit of Peter Gabriel as well. I think that's the guy I was thinking about now. A little bit. I have to say I love Bobby's drumming because it's very seldom in front of anything. It's just always super tasteful and kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think it would be a great drummer to play with.
Ooh, that's tasty.
That's nice. And it's still dirty as well. Back alley. Riff raff.
So we're beginning the last section of lyrics right here. So
Okay.
I don't know if it's going to be repeat or if it's just going to be a lot of instrumental after this.
Come on, lots of instrumental.
Probably. This reminds me that sometimes I should write riffs that don't say much as they are, but they provide like a cool part of a groove. Because this riff itself is not a good riff, but it's an awesome riff here. And those things are cool. There's plenty of that on Captain Beyond as well. Kurtan, kurtan, sort of the syncopated notes. Ooh, nice.
It's got like a weird like southern rock tinge to it here.
Yep. Probably why I like it. Give me 3 steps.
Yeah.
Love that song. I'm not sure you like it because it's a storytelling song.
I do like it.
All right. But that is really cool how that rhythmically how it falls. Everything is on the end, I think.
Yep.
So it's playing it straight, but it's offset.
So who's doing the harmonica here?
I think Keith Relf played the harmonica.
There we go. Okay. Yep.
Which again, with one lung, pretty wild that he's doing this and being a vocalist.
Sure is. Are you guys into your harmonica?
Do we?
I don't mind harmonica. Sometimes.
For me, it was always like the Wizard, Black Sabbath, that sort of set the standard for harmonica.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the first time I thought it was heavy.
Yep.
In the Wizard.
I did it on the biggest hard rock pub here in Stockholm. I did the Wizard on karaoke many years ago, and the host said, "I've never seen anyone do air harmonica before."
Yeah, I like it in the right context. It can get a little tedious, I think. But here I really like it.
I'm one of the rare cases among all my friends that I actually like Bob Dylan, but I don't really like his harmonica much.
He's not the greatest harmonica player.
Is he even playing? He's just going at it.
It just sounds like somebody shoved it in his mouth and he can't get it out. He's hyperventilating. He's getting nervous. I can't get it out!
That auto mount system is scary, I think. It looks like some kind of, Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, I like somebody put a picture of, Billy Joel, now he's bald. And he's got the little harmonica thing set up on him, and he looks just like Darth Vader when they take his helmet off at the end of Return of the Jedi.
He does.
No, I'm thinking about when, Alex in Clockwork Orange has to have his eyes open. It's a bit that vibe. Or if we should go Simpsons at least once this episode, is when Bart gets all these, like, nerd items. He gets these gigantic shoes. And for some reason his hair is water-calmed, and then big thick glasses. And I think braces all at the same time. But I don't remember the context. Good episode, anyway.
Right, so this is getting a little tedious.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
so you
out,
have 4 minutes of the lyrics part of this, and then 4 minutes of the
just jamming
guitar and harmonica.
Half of the jam, quite appreciated. But then I was even before you said so, John. It's kind of your mission to say so when it's bullshit. But even before, one thing I loved was that live Captain Beyond, and it was that intro with the pitched down voice. You remember that, like a Megadeth voice intro?
Oh yeah, it was like some sort of
and it just goes on, and after 2 minutes, John is like, "What the fuck is this bullshit?" Sometimes you just need someone to, sober it up.
Yep. That's John.
A sobering statement. Like, what are you guys doing? Lay off the pipe.
Yeah, enough of this. Enough.
So half of that end was that a little bit. I think Nate, you can go first this time though for fun.
Yeah, man. I think I'm gonna give it a 2.5. I thought it was very promising, and they had a lot of really good parts to it, but it's kind of to me, it was kind of inexpertly arranged in that you crammed all of these lyrics into the first section of the song, the first half of the song, and the other half was just the whole which
was awesome,
which was cool.
For about half of it.
For about 4.5 minutes of it with these things, and the harmonica sounded great. It had that cool like overdriven sound to it, and the guitar sounded great, and it was really nice, but it was just too much. Like I feel like if they had split the lyrics in half and had maybe a minute and a half of that groove in the middle of the song, I think it would have stood up a little bit better.
That's more traditional and probably actually better. Of an arrangement idea. Sometimes
it's more of an obvious thing to do, and I usually like when they go with these kind of atypical arrangements, but I don't think it worked here.
Yeah, no, I agree, actually. I think about half of it could have worked. With all this, I was like, in the beginning, it was, best vocal track so far, cool riffs, funky. I was up there, in the 4 region, but I have to deduct at least half a point. Maybe I can be bad cop. I'm trying, right? So I'll give it a 3. It maybe should be 2.5, but I guess I'm just a high rater. 3. It's going to be a 3.
All right. John.
All right. So, I'm going to go 2.5 with this one. I think because middle of the road, I think it was, as we've been saying, promising, starting off, probably the best vocal performance so far. A lot of kind of funky riffs stuff going on, but like that just second half of the song was just garbage.
You think so? I think it was actually great, but it was just the second half of the second half turned garbage. That was it for me,
Yeah.
I'm not saying. You probably thought it was garbage. I'm not saying you're lying here, but I'm contrasting, saying that it turned into garbage. Even before you said so, I was like, okay, this is kind of becoming bullshit here. And then, of course, the sobering seriousness of Juan Mottola comes in. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing now? I was like, you're right. Yeah, it's just kind of, when it kind of just simmers out, if it just fleeds out or leaks. The song leaked like the leaking mausoleum.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah, I think that a song like this, it needs something more dynamic. It needs some direction. It needs the musicians to kind of pay a little bit more attention to what they're doing and take it in different directions rather than, like Nate was saying, the da 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 da. Yeah, that's great for a few bars, but then you just get bored with it, and it's like,
Yeah, no, it's a really cool riff. I mean, when you hum it, it's actually like giving a way worse impression because it is on that upbeat. It's pretty cool rhythmically, right?
It is.
It doesn't last for that. It doesn't last for that long. I'm kind of with you guys. I should have given it a 2.5, but I'm not yet capable to be a bad cop here on the Deep Purple podcast. I like the show too much, I think. It's like a celebration.
I mean, I wouldn't go as far as to call it garbage. It's
but that's the sobering seriousness,
But it because I thought it was quite good. It was just it overstayed its welcome.
Trash.
Yeah. Rubbish.
Rubbish.
I mean, I accept it totally because I do think it turned into that after all, So if you speak emotionally, yeah, sure.
Yeah, right. Fair enough. I'll go with Johnny on this one. Yeah, turned into because it's like I don't say it wasn't a shitty riff or anything. It wasn't nothing bad. It just got boring.
I think we're riding down the same lane. We're seeing the same sunset, and we have the same good and bads. Really,
yeah.
It's a middle of the road song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
sadly, it could have been.
I think a riff should leave you wanting it to continue, this one was like, if it had gone into that and it did it for 8 bars or even 16 bars or something, and then went to something else, you'd be like, oh man, and then you would like crave that every time you listen to the song. You'd want to hear that section again, and you would love it. But here, you're just like, well, I don't care about that riff anymore.
Like that getting tighter. The getting tighter bit there. That was
right in the middle. Intro. They bust into it for 30 seconds, and you
super awesome.
You want it to go on. You should want it to go on for 8 minutes.
And if it were up to Nate, it would have gone on for the whole length of the first side after that.
Probably, and then it would have ruined
it. Right, but but I agree. That's the whole point. It's like if the opener on this album, right? Buzzard, right? That like that's cool. That's something that you could listen to like all day. But he did different variations of it, and then when you thought it was over, he did it like a couple of more times to like fake. It was like a fake ending thing, and it started to teeter on that. Like, all right, he's doing it too much. But then they ended it, and you're just like, okay, like I can live with that. That was awesome.
There's a certain agency, I think, that is necessary for John to be on board with rock agency. I think that's the word. Could be.
I like the kind of like you're the kind of dissecting my thought.
Yeah, it's been a lot of that today. I hope you're fine with it. I didn't plan to.
No, that's all right. I like it. Dissect away.
I feel like we're seeing more into the inner workings of John's psyche than we have in the previous 300 something episodes.
Exactly. So it's like Chris handles, he analyzes the physique, and I analyze the psychic.
well, why not? It's just like not. It's for me. It's not the worst thing in the world to just be labeled a complex person, because that at least means that I'm like interesting enough for people to say like, this is what's going on in his
complex
head.
Person with a swimmer's body.
With a swimmer's body.
I didn't say that. You said it.
And you gotta realize
said it. I didn't say it.
You gotta realize I listened to over 300 hours of you and Nate speaking. So it's like,
that's true.
I've got some stuff gathered up by
yes.
now.
Hey, well, wait a minute. When did Chris say that? Was it recently?
It was a while ago, I think.
Oh, okay.
Thunder, wasn't it? I think.
Something about you having a swimmer's.
It was something about. Wasn't it something about Murray? The Eddie of Dio, because he had a swimmer's body. I don't remember.
Maybe well, he certainly didn't say it when I met him in person.
Maybe we're just confusing John with Murray.
Maybe.
Yeah, John. Yeah, let's play a game of John or Jewish demon.
Is he a Jewish demon? Is he really?
I don't know. We just because the name Murray, we just think he's a Jewish demon.
That's why we surmise that his last name is Goldblatt or something.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, I gotta whip this priest into the ocean. Oh, God.
I'm so neurotic. All right.
For one, do like those impressions, by the way. Keep doing them.
Thank you. I actually got a lot of somebody said we should do, I forgot who I was doing an impression of recently. So somebody requested an episode where John does the Obama impression and I do this other one. But I can't remember who that was.
I think was it Scott in one of our text groups?
No, it was somebody. Well, no, he mentioned it too, but I also got an email from a listener.
Oh. Dear Lord.
I just can't remember.
Oh, good Lord.
Dear Lord.
Dear Lord.
Oh, boy.
Yes.
All right. So last up on this is a classic Bobby Caldwell 4-part song. This is one track, and the name of the overall song is called "Basking in the White of the Midnight Sun."
Okay.
All right. So it's like
here we go.
He's in Sweden.
Yeah, there we go. Right, and it kind of sounds like the back cover of the album where you had that bright white sun and all the Fantastic Four of all things sitting in front of it. So here we go. This is about a minute. 5A is called "Warning Coming On."
Warning coming on. I will add also that the midnight sun is not that magical. It's quite annoying.
It's quite annoying, yes.
Yeah, it's
trying to sleep.
Basically annoying. I had Mexican friends go up all the way up north where my father was born when they did abroad studying here.
Yep.
They came back and they told me, they called me Johnny. They were the first guys that called me Johnny. So, Johnny, I realized I need night.
Yes.
And I agree. I totally agree.
All right, so this section's almost over. This is all instrumental.
This could be on Captain Beyond subtitle as well.
Yep.
I was thinking that.
This part is called "Basking in the White of the Midnight Sun."
Also, you don't really bask in the midnight sun. You can't really.
You hide from the midnight sun.
It's just not bask sun.
This is a very cool, like, sort of weird off-time riff.
A bit spastic. It's like spastic funk riff.
Yep.
A bit.
It almost sounded like I like kind of riffs like that almost sound like they're messing up the first repetition you hear, and then you get into the groove and realize it was intentional.
Yeah, that's a classic. I do like this riff, and I like this kind of riff, but when a guitarist in any of my bands come in with a riff like this, it's just like, oh, you just made it hard, you know. You just kind of pushed it to be hard. It's a normal riff, but you decided it should be weird.
Right, exactly.
But it is held together nicely with the bass and drums here. And vocals too, I should say. Another little chromatic move, this time upward. Ascending. If I would steal anything from this record, it would be that. You know, to have a chromatic transition. 3 hits. Ba, ba, ba. Is it frustrating that it sounds a bit like Captain Beyond? Is it good or bad for us? I'm not sure.
I think that's good.
I think it's good. But to me, it sounds like Captain Beyond if the riffs wore out their welcome a little more. Whereas Captain Beyond, I feel like there were so many changes and transitions that it really kept it interesting. These are all like in the style of Captain Beyond, I would say, but the repetition of them is much, much more.
But even Sufficiently Breathless, which I've had on CDs since forever, it's also a bit like there but not there.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? I think that's better actually, the other one.
Dawn Explosion.
Dawn Explosion.
Yeah. This Dawn Explosion, they traded Rod Evans for Bobby Caldwell, basically. They got him back but lost Rod, and I think showed that they could survive a little better without Rod than without
Caldwell is necessary, yes. I've avoided saying his last name all this episode because I always say Cobweb.
Cobweb.
Bobby Cobweb.
Yeah. I said that the entire Captain Beyond special that we did.
All right, so
still very proud of that episode, though.
That's a great episode. So here we're changing into a new song, a new section.
All right.
This is called Brother Ego.
Great title, actually. You got some ego, brother. Deep Purple New York.
I think I kind of like when, you're talking about are we liking or not liking that it resembles Captain Beyond so much. Yeah. It's like I like when a member goes to another band and you can kind of tell their style kind of bleeding through in their other project, because you kind of know, like, okay, this tells me Bobby Caldwell was probably the main songwriter and the main architect in Captain Beyond. I mean, he had to have been, because it's too similar with a bunch of different musicians that it sounds Captain Beyond-ish.
Yep. It was actually that Dawn Explosion that made me realize that. Like, okay, I do miss Evans, but I miss him less than I missed Bobby on the other one. Right, I think probably by your show, I think probably because I haven't ever owned Dawn Explosion. I had a lot of epiphanies via the DPP,
Yes.
True. Yeah, it's true. Like, the best heavy metal album of all time should have not been known to me before. It's my genre. But it wasn't. I mean, I knew of it, but I didn't know how great Diary of a Madman really is.
Yes, it's pretty great.
I often credit you guys and Nick for that.
Well, not that Ozzy needs our help, but
no,
I'm glad we helped.
Yeah, I know.
It does always beg the question of why do they try to make this be one song? It's very odd to have it be a song title with 4 separate parts, 2 of which are the song title and the song title reprise, and then these 2 other songs.
Right.
It's just very unusual.
Is it contrived, you think?
Yeah, it's almost like, are we trying to make this more complicated than it is? But that's when I saw that, I was like, yep, this has got to be Caldwell, because you see this in the Captain Beyond stuff.
Going back and forth on that stuff. I mean, if I like it or not, I think you're allowed to be pretentious. It's okay.
Yes.
It's cool sometimes, Sometimes it's cool.
And there's plenty of precedent for it with other bands having songs that are that blend into each other, and you kind of, even though they're separate songs, you got to hear them as one all together. But then it's like, where does it? How is this 1 track versus 4 tracks? I don't know.
Right.
This is just a multi-part jam.
Yeah, probably though, like edited somehow. I'm not saying necessarily with tape it's edited, but edited in rehearsal or something, because it's not random. It's not fully random, I don't think. Oh, nice kick drum work there. This whole part I actually quite like, and I'm gonna say, speaking of that guitar tone, John, I really like it. It sits where it should sit. Like, even when I play extreme metal, I cut about everything under 150 away from my guitar, because we have a bass player.
Oh, I thought we were going into a drum solo.
No. This is just cool. So far. Like, ideally a drum solo should be less than 10 seconds.
Especially on an album.
Oh, yeah.
No, but this is great.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. Pretty awesome.
Last year, when I played Behind the Wall of Sleep with the trio, we had a drum solo for the first time ever. It was one of the best. Not because our drummer in that band is the best, but because it was 9 seconds.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's how it should be.
At the end of the song, he has that fade out on the original. Okay, this is something. Industrial noise rock. It cymbals well. Is that a distorted bass, or is it like kind of some sort of synth?
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
I think it's the bass. Seems to be a bit of a wild man.
Okay, so now we're going to go into the reprise in just a few seconds here.
Uh-huh. Faster. I think, anyway. Maybe it's just by context.
Ah, here it comes.
Exactly. I'm kind of feeling nothing. I'm grooving all the time. Yeah, it is kind of like a mirror part to that.
Yeah.
Very close, just like it makes you miss Rod Evans. Yeah, I'm feeling good. He's in it in that take. There's that bit when everything is going psychedelic, and then he's but he's kind of groovy. So I think this song, this suite, it desperately needs some kind of climax, I think. This is maybe supposed to be it, though.
Yeah, I think so.
And it is reminiscent of that climax of I Can't Feel Nothing, but it's just not as hard hitting.
Yeah.
I think mainly because of the vocals, actually. That was also funny with the Captain Beyond Live that Rhino didn't have distortion there for like half the set.
Yeah, I wonder if there's a technical issue.
I think so, yeah. Completely clean. Wow.
All right.
They ended with another chromatic transition. That's pretty cool. Because that was my idiosyncrasy of this record. The chromatic transitions, either going up or down.
Yeah. So I guess who wants to take it away with the ratings for this one?
Hard one to rate.
Yeah, it's a lot of different parts. And I was like, do we rate them individually? Nah, it'll be too confusing.
No.
Since I'm trying to be a bit more stern, I'm going to give this 2.5 because it could have been a lot better. That's the reason. It could have been a lot better. 2.5 is not necessarily bad, right? It's meant to be middle.
Right.
If you're being at least if you're being numerical about it. So 2.5 for me, because we did talk about a lot of stuff and I kind of drifted into enjoying that more than listening. And that's something you mentioned a few times on the show. And I know what it's like. And it means, the song did lose me a little bit, I would say. So I can't give it more. I think it was maybe not the worst on the record, but I think for me this particular experience listening to it now on this show, it was the least interesting, so it deserves the least amount of ratings numbers. 2.5.
Okay. John?
I will give a 3. So a little above like midway. I thought that all the different parts there was some cool stuff in there, and it was very reminiscent of the final Captain Beyond songs where you get that especially that last riff. It's a very simple type of repetitive riff that's very Captain Beyond. It's a da 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 da.
But that was the problem for me. Hence the question: is it good or bad? Because I was leaning towards: is it frustrating for me to hear? We have Captain Beyond at home feeling. In a way, right?
Mom, can I get Captain Beyond? No, we have Captain Beyond at home.
The funny thing about that is, as we're doing this, my daughter is texting me if we can have Chick-fil-A for dinner, and I'm like, no, we have
Chick-fil-A at home.
I'm essentially saying we have Chick-fil-A at home.
So, and I mean, I realized too that I contradict myself, because the other, like a song or two ago, there was this repetitive riff just going on and on. I think it depends on how long it goes on for, how impactful it is. But I mean, this had like several different parts, and I think there were some cool ones. The coolest being the harmonica going from channel to channel, and him doing the little drum fills in between. I thought that was really different. That was the most striking part of the song.
Yeah, I would say throughout the record, just great drumming.
Yes, of course.
Sometimes remarkable in terms of like composition, but always great drumming.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give this one a 3.5. I liked it. I agree with you guys' statements. Maybe I just liked it a little bit more, but I think maybe because it bounced around a little more between some more interesting parts.
Not a massive variance today, right? I don't think.
Probably not. We'll have to take a look. And
I'm interested to see if it's like because we don't include guest ratings. I'm saying we. I'm meaning you. But I'm interested to see how this would stack up against. About Time, what was it called? Bernie Marsden that we did last time.
Oh yeah, well,
yeah, like including my rating.
Good news.
That comparison.
Just while John fumbles with the spreadsheet, I will thank our final level of patrons, starting at the foundation level with the £3.50 already mentioned on the episode, Deep Purple New York tier. At the £3 aromatic feed tier, Simon Ford and Richard Brees. At the €3.50 tier, Weston Supermare Pilgrim. At the 293 pence tier, we have
Blackmore Tights.
At the $3.33 Halfway to Evil tier, we have Stephen Sharp. At the $3 Nobody's Perfect tier, we have Peter Gardeau. Very appropriate for today's episode. Ian DeRosier.
Skippity,
oh, sorry. Mark Roback. Stuart McCord. Ivan Fjällbo.
Ivan Fjällbo, tror jag.
Runar Simonsen.
Det är nästan rätt. Runar Simonsen.
Ruinous Inadequacies and Corey Morissette. Then we have none other than... Joe Dopefish Sigler. Adam Cork, Tim Wood, Steve Down to Earth Kohler, Michael, Matt R., and Jesus Christ Superstar. At the 10 Cold Hard Danish Kroner tier, we have Karsten Lau.
Cold Hard Danish Kroner.
And at the $1 made-up name tier, the Paths and Plains and Future Drips, Leaky Mausoleum, Stephen Somerville, the Concerto 1999 fanatic, Hank the Tank, Private Eyes, Ashen Lionel, Zwarper the Electric Alchemist, Anders Engstrom, ICDC, Durple Purple, David Haddam, Graham Bonnet's Disco Pants and Haircuts.
I said, Graham, our audience expects you to be a bit more dirty.
Disco pants and haircuts, yeah.
I'm just going to put my guitar across his head.
Eddie Lyon.
Homosexual.
And Sick Tone.
Where is she? Where is she? She's just about to close up the library.
All right, folks.
I don't know what the hell that is. I love it, though.
Well, you know what this is.
Close up the library!
We're just busting down the spreadsheet, and he's fumbling with the tabs. Oops, he sorted it the wrong way. Now he can't tell what he's got.
All right, John. Where does Armageddon fall on the spreadsheet?
Well, first of all, I think that for the future we should have John's impression of "We're going to close up the library."
Yeah, I endorse that.
I think you should edit that in there from now on because that was too good. That was a great interpretation.
When he sends me his audio, it'll be isolated, so maybe I'll have to look into that.
You know which one is the least sung one? I have to say, no one ever mentioned anything about the patron Arthur Smith. It's Arthur Smith, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that one, no one has ever mentioned it. I think it's only me that ever gave notice to getting support from the patron Arthur Smith.
You know, the best thing is, when I did that, I think I did like a whole verse of the song with made up lyrics. But I never put it out there. So I'll have to dig that up.
Now it's been hailed anyway, so.
All right, so I have our ratings, but the guest rating is missing, Nate.
Oh my goodness, I think I can fix it.
Right this wrong.
Right this wrong. Where the heck is it?
I do remember them.
If I could find the actual...
This happens sometimes.
Yeah. Sometimes. Okay, well, if you want to get started, I should be able to tag it in there.
All right, so we have a... for me and Nate, a 6.4, which is kind of the bottom quarter, I would say, of ratings. It's actually the same as Zephyr going back to Colorado, same rating. Black Sabbath, 7th star. That's like 0.01 off from that, so it's right in there a little bit. I was looking and it was, where is it? Armageddon. Yeah, several spots below is Sufficiently Breathless.
Okay.
At 6.25.
I think this was probably a stronger record than Sufficiently Breathless. But okay, it was like 1 point off only, right? 6.5 and...
yeah,
wasn't
about...
6.4?
Yeah, this is a 6.4. There was a 6.25.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, which I wasn't anticipating it, being that. close. I wasn't sure if I could find it. Jesus, this spreadsheet is killing me here.
6.4 is a pretty good rate, really.
Yeah. So I would say, let me see, and then let's see, combo 9.7 with all of us. So let me see. Nate gave it a 3.1. I gave it a 3.3, and John gave it a 3.3. So you and me were the same, Johnny.
We were the same, yeah.
Yep, same ratings. And I'm sorry, Nate and you. I gave it a little bit lower. Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it's according to tradition. I was wondering, is it the rare episode when you give it more? Because it tends to be
no. But let me see. So you were wondering, what was it? If Bernie Marsden was higher?
Yeah.
Your rating?
I think mine was, but the total, I'm not sure.
Yeah, the total. So let me see. Where's Bernie here? So Bernie was 11.09 with all of us. So significantly higher.
Yeah, but I think there was more variance in that one. I think I was gunning away at that time.
Oh.
A little bit, It was also a pretty cool record. I don't think anyone was disappointed.
It was. Yeah, I'm gonna see. And it's funny. I always mistake Nate's ratings for mine. I'm like, I rated it this. Like, nope. All right, I can't seem to move the spread. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did rate it pretty high. Yep, highest.
Yeah,
the highest ratings on that one. You remember correctly.
Yes. Okay, cool. Interesting. It was a bit easier the second time, so I imagine you guys should be pretty warm by now, 335 episodes in.
Mm-hmm.
That's an insane amount of episodes, guys.
It's a lot of episodes. Only feels like 334.
But sometimes when people get these questions, not necessarily podcasts, they would be like, yeah, we didn't imagine going for more than a year or something. But quite honestly, for me, and you could add your view on it. When I started, I was like, yeah, I'm probably going to do this forever, I guess.
Yes. The opposite that most people say.
None of that, from rags to riches.
Yeah, when we end the podcast 30 years from now, I'm like, I'm surprised we're ending it. I mean, I thought we'd go way longer than 39 years or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But one of us had to go and die, so I guess we have to stop the podcast.
Yeah, but it's healthy eating from now on.
Yeah, the main reason we're eating healthy is just to prolong the podcast. We need to be in good shape.
Right.
I got to maintain that swimmer's body, so
swimmer's body. Every time I'm on, I always say it, and it's always true. It's still my favorite podcast, and I should say it.
You're too kind.
Thank you.
We appreciate it, and we appreciate you coming on. It was just a lot of fun diving into this album. Despite my dog not wanting me to do this episode.
I always see the Purple Podcast as something I'm not involved in other than listening, but it's fun to come on every so often,
But at the same time, it's it seems like you are always involved, because we're talking so much and bouncing ideas off of each other and all that sort of stuff. So it's like there's a lot of folks like you that are, an integral part of the podcast, regardless of how many times you've guested. So,
and we're building little mini communities outside. I'm talking to Rich now, talking Beatles with Rich, stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
When I've seen that happen via me, via my shows, it's kind of heartwarming to see that. Someone writes on someone's wall and it's like, they met through my pod. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's sweet. It's wholesome, one could say.
Yes. Yep,
yes.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so thanks for being invited again.
Yes, thanks for coming, and thanks everybody for listening. And we will be back at it next week.
Yes.
Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. We'll see you then.
If you like the Deep Purple podcast and would like to support the show, please consider joining our Patreon or donating on PayPal. Patrons get full access to the podcast, Discord server, ratings, spreadsheets, and live stream invites. You can also leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts to help new people discover the show. You can follow the show on Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, or Threads. You can also check out the website at deeppurplepodcast.com for show notes and more. Contact us via email at John or Nate at deeppurplepodcast.com. Thanks for listening.